is Chris White, the 10th time he's been in charge at the Millennium Stadium, the first time since Wales played in Rome during the Six Nations. Let's not hope for any late line-outs, eh?
No.
So just over 2.5 hours of rugby left for Wales to get some momentum ahead of the big kick-off in France. France are here next Sunday. Today it's Argentina, and these will be two very, very stiff examinations. Big tackle immediately though from Ian Goff, keeping Argentina pinned back in their 22.
Very, very good tackle. And that's what they want, an aggressive start. First opportunity, a sliced kick. Gives Wales good field position.
Todeschini, unusually for him, slicing the ball. Now let's see how this Welsh line-out goes. It was a shambles. It went belly up in London 2 weeks ago. That was much better though. Jonathan Thomas immediately off the top. Martin Williams running into midfield, winning his 71st cap today. All a little bit confused in midfield.
No, leave it. Hands off.
He's played on, that went back.
No, stand back. Number 6, number 8, stand
Alex
back.
Popham with the blonde hair. Number 8 just standing off, leaving it for Tom Shanklin. Delicate chip over the top, looking for Gareth Thomas. Ball coming off Thomas's hands. Argentina will have the scrum. Should they need it? Todeschini doesn't. That was a much better kick.
Yeah, a lot better. Didn't look for the spiral kick. There's a little chip, no obstruction. Nearly gets to it. Not much choice there. Either a little chip or maybe just passing it over to one of the forwards. Take it up the middle again. I think they've got to try and keep possession on, build through the phases. That's what they try and do. That's what they didn't do. When they have possession, have the confidence to keep it.
Advantage, knocked off. Advantage, blue.
2 line-outs, 1-1, 1 lost early on. Ignacio Fernandez-Lobe, one of the Sale brothers, takes the ball on a couple of metres as Argentina try and build for the first time. Ledesma, lovely ball inside to Leguizamo. Argentina
tackle.
For the first time running things. Contaponi with the ball that was too wide for Lucas Borges. But Argentina will be keen to run swiftly whenever they have the opportunity.
Great tackle, Dwayne Peely. Had to make that tackle from the inside ball. There's the floated pass. Unfortunately, Borges couldn't get to it. This is the inside ball. Had to make that tackle, Dwayne Peel.
First scrum of the match. Wales 1. Popham scuttling backwards to tidy things up. Jones into the space that's patrolled by Federico Sella, the Argentine fullback. And chases own ball to get all of his mates on side. Stephen and James Hook had plenty of time. Happy to play a territory game at the moment. Happy to invite Argentina and Gus Pichot to try and build from deep. Pichot has lots of strengths, perhaps picking not one of them.
And again, good ground made, good kick. James Hook went for the distance. Not the greatest kick by Pichot. Again, the line out worrying for Wales.
South American general who turns 33 next week, knowing that he will have to do better with his kicking. Wales reverting to Balkan experience after the 60-point drubbing against England. They picked their biggest ever pack, and the line out is working at the moment. Thomas, ball intercepted by Corletto, and Corletto will have a sprint to the line. He's up against James Hook. He might need some help, but the corner will get there before the Welsh cover arrives. Interception try. Ignacio Corletto, the starred France A flyer, has the first try for the South Americans.
Not the start that Wales wanted. Under pressure, now they've heaped some more pressure on themselves. Corletto, I thought James Hook had the angle on him, but just too much space. There we are, the flat ball flies at a pass. He wasn't really looking. Corletto just picks him up easy, and then he's down and goes for it. There's the ball, and we stop it there. These two are the key players. The ball, he attacks the ball and then gets the intercept, and he's away. Corletto sees the ball is thrown on the outside shoulder. He reads it better than Shanklin, cuts inside, gets the ball, and as I thought, hook at the angle on him, but Coletto just too much pace.
And that kind of poaching is exactly what Ignacio Coletto does best. He's a wily counter-attacker. And that's the angle facing Federico Todeschini, Argentina's sharpest shooter these days. Boot that nearly kicked them to victory here against the Lions in a warm-up match in 2005. Has 2 points on top of Coletto's try. It's Wales 0, Argentina 7.
He is such a natural kicker. He just strokes the ball over, leans back. Magnificent style, you know. And Contepomi is a world-class kicker. He is something special, this Todeschini.
Well, they've had some good kickers down the years, haven't they? Hugo Porter,
yeah.
Contepomi. Todeschini is the first choice now, and he almost invites the ball just to amble its way between the posts.
On the floor, you're off your feet there.
So much Welsh anxiety to win the ball back from the kickoff. Have to stay on their feet. Martin Williams, the man who's been pointed at by Chris White. So talking about that performance against the Lions here a couple of years ago, I think he scored 20 of the 25 points that day and kicked them to victory with a try as well at Twickenham last November. Great player.
I think this is, you know, they've got two good outside halves, and that's why I think the number 12 position is so crucial in today's game. And Contepomi, he's there, he's been there before. Very talented.
Number 4.
Pushing in the line out.
First motion was a push in the back.
Ignacio Fernandez Lobe, the sailman, is penalised, and having lauded the kicking style of Argentina's Federico Todeschini, now we'll have the chance for James Hook to have a go.
Well, Gareth Thomas will be pleased to see Chris White give that decision. The ball goes up. Very difficult to see. I think it's number 1, I think it is. Ronchero, he's pushing there. Yeah, he spotted him. Just watch him. They go up early 5, but the intended ball carrier is behind us. Can't say from that angle, but I think the ball's number 5. He's taken out. As I said, Gareth Jennings will be happy that Chris White spotted that, because he wasn't very pleased with Joel Jutke's refereeing of the line in Twickenham.
He was still chuntering on about it during yesterday's press conference, but Chris White showing that he'll brook no nonsense, and James Hook will try and make the South Americans pay. Bit more agricultural than Todeschini, and not quite as accurate. And Pichot tries to break away from deep.
Hands away, Red.
Todeschini clears.
Okay.
Good strike. He's not sure if it's going over or not. Just comes in, always hitting the post. Really, the chase wasn't that great by Wales. Shanklin is up there, should have been there in numbers. Both wingers.
Steady arm and cool head of Matthew Rees, finding Ian Goff at the front of the line-out. Here goes Hook, challenging the Argentine line for the first time. Lovely from Hook. Oh, that's wonderful. James Hook, the architect, and Gareth Thomas skippering the side, has Wales right back in this test match.
That is a great break. Just watched, waited, gave the ball, gave the dummy very late. Great support play by Gareth Thomas. Just gets the ball, waits, lovely dummy. Unfortunately, I think it's Leguesmon who's not in line, so he throws a dummy. Great support try.
Clearly a much simpler kick, and this should square things up. It's 7 each.
It's great to see. Just watch, these are the two angles, stop it there. There's the first one, there's the guess, well, there's the outside that. The gap is too big, and he's further up than this guy here, so the break just goes. Support comes through, run it on. Lovely break. He's just not in the line with him. He can't make the tackle. Great support play. Came late. Good try. Good response by Wales. Really needed it.
There's a lot of talk about that midfield balance. Gareth Thomas can play all over the place, but it looks as if they're going for Gareth Thomas and Tom Shanklin at 12 and 13, at least ahead of the World Cup. Wonder where Stephen Jones and James Hook might fit into that equation.
Well, that's what I said. Contepomi's a footballer, so they're going to play football behind this big, powerful pack from the 12 position. Wales have got to decide, do they go with Gareth Thomas down the middle, good defender, not the greatest kicker, maybe not the greatest footballer, but he is honest and strong and powerful, or do they go for the footballer?
Reese throwing too long. It's gathered up by Longo. It was knocked forward, but the first one came off a Welsh hand in the line-out. Argentina scrum.
Line-out again, they've got to nail the line-out. Yeah.
Come closer, lads.
I think that's a penalty there. Definitely interferes myself. Hear more from Keith, but you've got to secure this ball first and foremost.
This is an area where Argentina rarely comes second as well, the scrum. They love the scrum, and it's taken forward by Longo. This is driven on by Ignacio Fernandez-Lobbe. It's a bright old start to this match, isn't it? Both sides giving it a real go. Another terrific tackle. Mark Jones creeping away, trying not to concede the penalty, having initially put in that hit. This is Juan Fernandez-Lobbe, junior of the two brothers. P-shot.
Recycle the ball so quick.
To the try scorer Corletto, the pass was forward. Great tackle.
There's no ball out, wait.
But they've put themselves under pressure from losing the line-out ball. Pichot, little kick, no real danger unless you lose possession in the line. Great scrum.
Look at that drive from Argentina.
It's there, lads, it's there. I'm looking at the back.
Diego Cash, former players in charge of their scrums, and it's like being in charge of the Bank of England looking after that Argentina scrum, because it's been ferocious for years and years and years, and that front row of Jones and Reese and Adam Jones will know they've been in a match at the end of this one.
Touch, pause, engage, good.
A couple of scrums have been good. That last one will be slightly worrying.
That's moving far side.
Keith mentioned that they bind differently from anyone else. Well, he can explain that a little bit more.
George, working on the scrum halves here. I'm here. Okay, straight. Straight, arm up. Crouch. Touch.
Roncero, Ledesma and Celso in the Argentine front row. Being made to work really hard to get the ball away, and Popham seeing off the challenge of Leguizamon. The ball back on the red side, but how hard they had to work, and that's a long clearing kick from Shanklin, only as far as Serra, the only player to play his rugby in Argentina in this starting 15. Terrific take again from Shanklin, seemingly over the knee injury that threatened his career not so long ago. James Hook took a little bit more time than he might have needed, and Longo was almost onto him.
And that's one thing they do chase the ball in very quickly. Contepomi was a specialist at getting charge zones. You've got to get the kicks away very, very quickly.
Come round and have a look.
There we are, look. You can see the chase. Look, there's two players on him straight away.
Okay, so you must make sure you're straight as well. Have a look at the arm.
33-year-old set to skipper his country to a 4th World Cup.
Okay. Thank you, Argentina.
A little delay because Ian Goff's taken a bit of a bash.
Here's your mark.
Here's the try again.
Here we are. Just watch. He's just a little bit further back than... In fact, it's the right winger that's defending in there. I think it's Borghesi's moved out. I don't really like that when the open side winger defends in number 10 position.
Alan Wynne-Jones making sure that Wales won that line out. Dwayne Peel, little box kick, inviting Mark Jones to run onto it. He knocked on.
Good play.
Argentina will have the scrum.
First one over here. Nudge red.
So another scrum coming up for this Welsh front row to negotiate. Keith Wood has been in an Irish front row, facing these chaps who eat far too much corned beef. What's it like? Would he take us into the middle of this front row against Argentina?
It's like stepping into a bit of a muscle sandwich. I mean, these guys are just pure Argentinian beef, but they bind slightly differently, even though they're looking more orthodox at the moment. But the pressure in there is absolutely colossal. Very much three-prop sort of front row.
Well, we saw it there, didn't we? Oh. Martin Gaitan, Butterfingers.
But he's consistent, isn't he, Chris White? He said that went back. Same happened in first couple of minutes with Goffey dropping the ball backwards. There we are, trying to give him more space. He just took his eyes off the ball. One thing you don't do. Recovered well.
One of Argentina's best players at the 2003 World Cup, but a knee injury has really disrupted his progress over the last few years. Edged ahead of Lissandro Arbizu in Australia. Argentina thrilled to have Gaitan back in the ranks. Wales thrilled to have the ball, but it wasn't straight again.
Scrum Argentina. It wasn't straight. Argentina dropped it.
You just can't afford to do that, you know. It's
no
6 line outs.
Hang on, boys.
Lost 3.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
Another Argentine scrum. Don't expect them to lose it. Longo piles head first into Martin Williams. Pichot back to Todeschini, has time to pick his spot, effortlessly into touch.
They need to put more pressure on the kickers. There we are, Martin Williams.
Take the front spreaders. Yeah, that's better.
Great tackle, pop them.
Argentina.
It's another place where they've got to try and find some balance in the back row.
That line out worked better. Hook, who is prodding and probing. This is much better. Kevin Morgan slipped from Mark Jones, and it's still Welsh ball.
Created the overlap again.
Hook to Peel. This is Thomas. Corletto was sniffing around and not far off a carbon copy of what happened to the first Argentine try. Argentina have knocked on. Wales will have the scrum if they need it. Ledesma piles in to make sure it will be a scrum. Roddy Roncero and Tom Shanklin just exchanging free World Cup greetings.
It was knocked on in midfield. Yes, I've just spoken to him.
There we are, they create the overlap, look, 3 on 2. David James has got to straighten up there. He's created the opportunity. He's got to straighten up.
Closer. Crouch, touch, pause, engage. Too far, too far, too far, come closer. Calm.
Chris Horseman down on the touchline, normally in the Welsh front row. Any special preparation ahead of this game because of the scrummaging, Chris?
Yeah, obviously this week we've been working not on the machine itself, we've been going against each other live, so the guys are not involved. We've been trying to scrummage like the Argentinians, you know, very much a forceful hit and chasing the weight through after the hit.
Yes, that's what they do. The first hit isn't good enough. They run on as well and try and trample you back over your own ball.
Number 13. Right, stop the game. Okay.
Now Chris White's going to have a few words
the
here.
game will be played. If the points we made, we'll make it properly, not that way.
Chris, thanks.
We had to win.
Injury, Todeschini is down, I think. It's pointless Wales getting involved in a
Okay.
argument
Time
they
off,
could have brought.
Is this the kicker? Okay, lads. George, Tony, you happy off the ball? Yep.
This is the play that they went with Wales. Great dummy runners.
This man here.
This is the overlap. If we stop it there, he's got to straighten up there, okay? David James got to straighten up to hold this guy up. Then all of a sudden you go 1,
Obstruction.
2 on 1. And this is what all you want to do is create a 1-on-1 with a full back. They don't, they come across it and then they just drift and drift and drift and they've got to come on the inside. The move worked, but the winger has got to come in, straighten up, take the man out, and it's a 2-on-1, 1-on-1 winger full back. That's all you want to do at international rugby, create a 1-on-1.
This is Mario Ledesma, 61st cap today.
You were in there.
34-year-old playing against Wales for the 8th time. And that's a straight through, finds Alvasetti. Todeschini, ball looked fractionally forward, but Chris White happy enough. P-shot, back to Longo, the number 8.
Tackle again, Goff.
Ledesma.
Advantage.
Neat hands, but didn't quite find Fernandez. Longo now maybe. Popham, this is Rees. Up to halfway, Argentina have got some semblance of defence back in line, but Wales have the penalty. Dwayne Peel wanted to go quickly, but he's going to be pulled back.
Oh yeah, Matthew Rees
Penalty.
should have gone wide. Turn over, get it wide. Yeah, trying to get an angle run there. Duncan Jones gets the ball. There's the ball. Duncan Popham. Not easy. Close does well, but shouldn't have gone there. Maybe with the interception in the first couple of minutes, he thought, I'll hang on to it.
Midway through the first half, Wales 7, Argentina 7. It's been lively stuff. Wouldn't have thought that these two have much bigger fish to fry in the World Cup in a few weeks' time. They have been going at it hammer and tongs. Scrum to Wales. Both coaches might be watching this with hearts in mouths as well. We've had plenty of examples over the last couple of weeks. Brian O'Driscoll, the latest, of players not far away from the World Cup getting bashes that very nearly keep them out of it, but it doesn't appear to be in the minds of any of these players at the moment.
You can't hold back. When you go into a match, any match, you've just got to go in full-blooded. Defence is very strong.
Yep.
He's an important player for Wales these days, Alex Popham, back playing at 8 with Ryan Jones injured today, and there are the stats, keeping a close eye on Popham, the number 8 today. 5 carries already. He's being charged with driving the ball deep into Argentine territory.
Yeah, and a few of those carries under pressure from a scrum, trying to clean some bad ball up, get over the gain line, give his forwards a target.
I'm sure that decision to use him at 6 and Ryan Jones at 8 necessarily worked during the World Cup, but Gareth Jenkins' selection decision has been made easy by Jones being out of the tournament.
Personally, I think Ryan Jones is a better number 6 than Alex Popham, so I'd have figured the other way around.
Let's see what Wales can do from this scrum. It's a solid one. Thomas back in field to Mark Jones, who's looking for plenty of work at the moment, coming in off his wing. Peel back to Thomas, who's breaking tackles and really impressing in midfield at the moment.
Hands away.
Peel, long ball to Jonathan Thomas, squeezes under the tackle. Wales gradually making progress towards the line. Penalty taken quickly by Peel. Argentina need to be careful. Goal! What a try from Alan Wynne-Jones. He stretched the entire 6'8" frame, and Argentina caught napping momentarily. Alan Wynne-Jones has his first try for his country, and it puts Wales ahead here in Cardiff.
As I said before the game, it's all about tempo, and that's what Dwayne Peel brings to this Welsh side. He's off straight away, one ball, too powerful, simple, direct rugby. Very good try. There we go, tap, he goes, nothing on, runs between 2 defenders, runs at the arm. Scalzo doesn't come up quickly enough. Good try. I think, although Wales have scored a try there, I think Ronchero, who stopped that ball, still should have a yellow card. I think it's a professional foul and should still have a yellow card, irrespective of Wales have scored that try. We've got to get the game going quickly.
Second conversion to Wales' second try. And they've responded well to falling behind early on. It's Wales 14, Argentina 7, and it's barely worth saying, but I'll say it anyway. This is so much better than they played against England.
And really, they've dominated, all phases of play. Really, the line still hasn't been great, but field position and Argentina really haven't threatened the Welsh line.
Watching behind me. Watching behind.
Hook. Spiraling kick into touch.
Takes the ball in. This is professional foul. Look at him, he's over there, hands on the ball. Look. The referee said that is a yellow card. I don't care if Wales have scored. That's a yellow card.
They published the law book in Spanish. It's not that difficult, is it?
There's a good start. Look at that. 62%.
Taken in by Gonzalo Longo, plays for Clermont-Auvergne in France, one of 5 players in the pack who do.
Play on!
This is another one, Martin Skelzo, also plays for Clermont-Auvergne, Stephen Jones' former club. This is Todeschini, plays his rugby with Montpellier. Terrifically taken by Contepomi, who was a Leinster man, of course. This is much better from Argentina. Good drive. P shot. Oh dear me. Well, he gave Serra absolutely no chance whatsoever. Take your pick. If the bounce of the ball works their way, Tom Shanklin will score, but Corletto is there, and the try is going to be decided by the television match official. Mark Jones may well have got it. Wales really should have made it so much easier for themselves.
There's a problem. He's left-footed.
The act of scoring, is it a try, yes or no?
So they made it difficult. Shanklin with the left foot just kicked it across the field, give Corletto an opportunity to come back. If he'd have hoofed it with his right foot, any one of 3 would have scored. And it's all about the grounding. Does he ground it? And by the player's reaction, Mark Jones, I would say, he's grounded it. He's lost the ball at Corletto. Just watch it. If he doesn't get that right, try. That is a try.
Ramon Huot, a Frenchman, is going to deliver his decision. Corletto definitely didn't ground the ball.
That's got to be try, innit?
The ball is there to be dabbed down, and Mark Jones does it. And that should be his 11th Test match try.
Chris, I have a decision for you.
Yes.
It's a try.
I can award a try.
Yeah.
P-Shot's mistake in midfield. Wales eventually made him pay.
They went the wrong way, There were 4 defenders there, 2 attackers. He drops the ball and the kick through. And I think, the only reason Chris White went to the video rep because he was so far behind. He's the best referee in the world, but he's not as quick as these players. Drops the ball. Number 15, Serra Maras, and they're through. There's the ball, just watch it, the kick. There's the chase, right foot kick, anyone scores of the 3. Corletto comes into the picture. He goes and goes and goes. He gets back, does exceptionally well. Jones gets it.
Mates were all saying, where are you going? You're in the wrong way. It worked out in the end, though. And James Hook, well, for the 3rd time, try to add the 2 points, which he does comfortably enough. And Wales have showed some real character here, because that early try might have knocked the wind out of their sails, but they've really battled back. 3 converted tries, and they now lead Argentina by 21 points to 7. Well, the ball was a bit of a mix-up between Alan Wynne-Jones and Jonathan Thomas. I think Thomas expected Jones to gather. In the end, he didn't, and it was the half volley that Wales eventually deal with.
Stand up, you two! Stand up!
Longo. This is set up. Lucas Borges, the right wing, chasing down the ball, and that has to be a dangerous tackle on Kevin Morgan. Instant reaction from the players, instant reaction from Chris White, and I think Lucas Borges is off here for a while.
He's got to go, isn't he? He's got to go. Whether he had his eyes on the ball, it doesn't matter. He is.
There's no need for. Hang on.
Got to go.
10 minutes in the cooler for Lucas Borges.
You calm down. You stay out of it.
I think it's going to be interesting now. Ranchero, the Argentinian prop, I don't know what planet he's on at the moment, but he's getting involved in everything. And if you're a Welsh player, you just have to niggle him a little bit, and I'm sure that he will be spending 10 minutes in the bin, or worse, having a red card, because he's actually lost the plot at the moment, Ranchero. He's getting involved in everything. There's a challenge. That's ridiculous challenge.
Dear.
Absolutely ridiculous.
He had so much time to pull out of that if he needed to. He's even tried to make the tackle around the legs, hasn't he?
In a way, he's lucky that that's not a red card.
Line-out ball taken by Ian Goff. Wales have 10 minutes with a one-man advantage. Dwayne Peel.
There's the advantage, really.
Yeah. On the Welsh left side, the right side of Argentina's defence. Thomas, who has played heads-up rugby, looked for the gap, always looked to beat the first defender, and has won the penalty. And he's had a good game so far, Gareth Thomas.
That's it, kick the goal. He's going to have a word with them. He's got to tell them to get off the ball.
The first action, you saw what happened. The first action must be to stay on your feet. Your first action was there, and off your feet, then you stood up. Do you understand? Otherwise, we'll have a problem, okay? It's up.
Juan Manuel Leguizamon, the London Irish flanker.
Definitely rattled. The Argentinians are rattled at the moment. They're all getting involved. There he is, straight to the ground. And I'm sure if that carries on, there'll be a few more people in the bin. There he is, head down.
Well, Lucas Borges.
A bit like he was when he went into the tackle, actually.
James up with what ought to be a straightforward penalty. Don't need to worry about the elements because the roof high above is securely shut. Distance and direction. And Wales, having trailed early on by 7 points, have now opened up a 17-point gap, and that's impressive. Wales 24, Argentina, who are a disappointing ragged bunch at the moment, 7. It's been a long time since I saw Argentina play so poorly.
Well, you know, Wales have played well. You've got to give them credit because they haven't allowed them to play. Defended well and they've attacked. Nothing silly now.
Don't need to be careful. Don't need another interception. Matthew Rees rolls out of the tackle. This is James Hook. Doesn't have the pace to go all the way on his own, so puts boot to ball. Longo underneath. This is Senna, the fullback.
That's a lovely kick.
Bit of a surprise when he made the World Cup squad, Federico Senna. Earned his place with a try and 21 points against Italy back in June. And there's the Argentine coach Marcelo Lafreda, who has created such great tales in South America over the 7 years that he's been in charge. In front of him, Daniel Baetti, the assistant coach, but well, they've got problems that they won't be used to having. They don't get pushed around themselves much, but they are very much second best in this match so far. Into the final 10 minutes of the first half. Corletto, who got the first try for Argentina, feeds Todeschini, tackled by Popham. Taken on by Fernandez Lobe. That's the Welsh 10-metre line.
He's facing the wrong way.
And Argentina will have the scrum.
Scrum down below. Problem. Thank you, Argentina. One moment, please. Problem. Red, please. Time is off.
There we are, look, and that's one reason they haven't in the game. Possession, 60, 40. Territory, 65, 35. So
exactly right, thank you.
they're at the most dangerous when they, you know, in the opposition 22, when they roll and roll and the forwards drive in, but they haven't had any field position and not much territory. So a lot happier.
Be careful where you started from.
That bunch of men there, a lot happier.
Well, Gareth Jenkins was a popular choice for the job when Scott Johnson headed home to Australia, but he's really endured a traumatic start to his coaching career, hasn't he? It began with those 2 defeats in Argentina on tour, but
I think
this is looking much better.
Obviously, when they lose, there's massive reaction in Wales.
Come closer, Wales, come closer.
He deserved the role of coach, and you know, he's found it difficult finding his feet. But as he's always said, judge me on the World Cup. Now this performance is by far the best performance so far by Wales side, and the guidance of Gareth Jenkins.
Pause, engage.
Well, he's picked his best team, hasn't he? He knew he needed momentum after England and with the World Cup around the corner, and he's beginning to find some now. Some defending to do though. This is Fernandez Lobe. After the initial drive by Longo, taken on by Mario Ledesma, the skillful hooker.
This is it.
Key shots, Todeschini. Oh, he was looking for the outside ball. Gaitan was looking for a ball.
Of course, he's in the bench.
Lucas Borges wasn't there because he's sitting on the bench.
Created the overlap. Very lucky he was on the bench, actually. That was try time.
Here goes Serra. Juan Martin Hernandez, the first choice fullback. He's making his way back from injury. Kevin Morgan, his Welsh counterpart. Felipe Conteponi with time to pick his spot, doesn't find touch. Mark Jones goes a tumbling and then a gathering.
That's a poor decision by Mark Jones. Isolated and went into it on his own. Got what he deserved, really. And there we are. Only 3 penalties, which the way Argentina play is pressure. They get the penalties and they kick the goals. I know it's the first one. Oh, it's surprising. He's not going for goal. They're going for the try. Here's the overlap. Look, if we stop it there we are. He's coming in for some reason. If he'd have stayed out there was an overlap. There's no winger there at all, so run it on. If he'd have stayed out, there was an overlap. The full back ran the wrong line. Even with 14 men, they would have created the overlap. And they've lost the line out.
And Martin Williams compounds the error by firing the ball back up towards halfway.
Take the front, George.
Here's how Argentina lost the line out. Ledesma overthrowing. This time Ledesma finds Longo. 5 minutes to half time.
Leave him alone. He's coming this side, but you leave him alone. In there. No. What's up? He's going to get his hat back.
Guizemont.
That's in there. Okay.
Having a few words with Popham. It's supposed to be a friendly match this one.
He's in.
So take your time.
Hang on, touch it's in.
Number 3, blue, popped and pulled the front cap off the player here in the rock.
Yeah, he pulled him out. He was offside and he was pulling him out. I saw that, so I'm happy with it. Okay.
Ireland's George Clancy chipping in with his tuppence worth, but Chris White taking no further action.
Just to show everyone at home he's been on telly.
Thanks, George.
What's the scrum cap? There he is, Ali Wyn Jones. Looks rather uncomfortable. Nothing new. In the context of the game, Argentina will want to get on the scoreboard, whereas Wales just keep them away.
Hold!
Taken in by Albacete, who plays his rugby for Toulouse. Wales have defended the line-outs well so far, though. Ledesma, the hooker, goes to ground on the 22. This is Longo.
Leave it, Red. Leave on the side, Red. Leave it. Don't touch. Don't touch him.
Alex Popham's getting gingerly back to his feet, just to the right of the picture.
Stand up, scrum down, Blues going forward. You're falling over yourself.
Scrum
Really
to Argentina.
Oh, calm down. No, come on. Blues going forward.
Popham looking like a man who's just played 40
unplayable.
minutes of rugby against Argentina quite
He's
frankly.
had a shot. Someone's had a shot at him. You know, he's making a nuisance of himself. That was a tattoo. But someone's had a go at him.
Okay.
Lucas Borges. Part of the World Cup squad because Francisco Leonelli, the usual right wing, is injured. He'll miss the tournament. So one or two top names are missing.
Crouch. Start again. Be careful. Listen again. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Stay on.
T-Shot runs around. Longo gives him the pass. T-Shot back inside to set up.
First one, second one.
Not for the first time. Sarah should have gone right rather than left, perhaps.
I don't really understand why they work the short side when your right winger is in the sin bin. You know, maybe they can explain it later on, but why do you work the short side when your winger is in the bin? Maybe
It's the element of surprise.
boys in studio can give it a like on that.
Now Wales trying to go out with a bang just before the break. Tom Shanklin striding away, looking for support. Chips away. Chased with Martin Gaitan, and Shanklin dribbles the ball into touch, but it's Wales who are looking to end the half in the ascendancy.
That's good play. Very good play. Good angles of running by the Welsh backline. Create the space. There's the hole. Contemponi misses him. No other option. Nobody with him. And again, if he gets a good left foot on this, he's in a chance of scoring. But anguish on his face because again, it's gone the wrong way.
1, 2, 3. 3. Wales go. Somebody go.
90 seconds to go. Lucas Borges just coming back onto the pitch. His 10-minute suspension served. Wales very nearly burgling that Argentine line-out. It's the Pumas who'll get the pudding at the scrum though.
38-53.
They've pressurised Argentina in almost every facet of the game.
Yep, they have. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Even if you don't get, you know, if you don't win the ball, put pressure on them, make it difficult for them.
Into the final 60 seconds.
Stay on 6. Stay on.
T-Shot, Todeschini.
Maybe one more opportunity for Wales. I'd like to see them bring maybe Kevin Morgan into the game a little bit more. I haven't seen much of him in the first half. Now then, Anth. Great, they've shortened the line out just to win possession. This is what I'd like to have seen in Twickenham.
This may well be the final play of the first half. Rees again overthrows.
You have to say, for some or whatever reason, it is a complete shambles. Whereas that is the only black mark really on this performance in the first half. Everything else has been very good, except for the line out.
We don't have time for another one. Felipe Contepomi's kick to touch, the last act of the first half, which looked as if it was going to belong to Argentina early on. Corletto's breakaway try, but Wales, with 3 of their own, have replied emphatically, and it's as good as they have been for a long, long time, perhaps since England here in the Six Nations. Wales 24, Argentina 7 at half-time. In the Parc des Princes, their final match in Pool D. They'll open up against the hosts in Paris in the big stadium on September the 7th. And they were sent out very early after half-time. I don't think the coach Marcelo Lafreda wasted too many words. Just get out there and do better would have been the gist of it, I suspect. They were pretty dreadful in the first half, but they've got early opportunity of points in this second half, and you would have thought that taking the 3 points would be the wisest opportunity here, Jonathan.
Yeah, I think they've got to take the 3 points now. And this is what they'll try and do. Get a good start, get back into the game, get in reach. And a poor mistake by Wales right at the start of the second half.
So this is Federico Todeschini, who plays his rugby for Montpellier in France. Gonzalo Quesada was the kicker in '99 and 2003. Took the best part of 10 minutes to size up kicks. Not so Todeschini. It's like he's in the park with his kids, isn't
He is, isn't he? Just so relaxed, kicking the ball. He's incredible.
As in the first half. First points in the second half go to Argentina. Wales 24, Argentina 10. And I guess there's always the danger of taking the Pumas lightly, because as poor as they were in that first half, they are warriors when they get going.
Yeah, they never give up. That's one thing.
Tackle from Ian Goff on Juan Leguizamo.
Let go, Red. Let go, Red.
Fernandez Lobe.
It's the man behind you. Let go.
Trying to take the ball out of his own 22. This is Felipe Conteponi, who's qualified as a doctor, he was telling me yesterday. All of those studies in Dublin and Bristol before that paying off.
His left-hand pass is not the quickest today, old Pichot, so you can get that whoever's receiving it.
Gap, boys, gap. Blue, use the line.
And as Keith said, he usually nags the referee and really irritates the opposition, whereas he's just squabbling with his own players today. So
Bruce's line-out throwing hasn't been the best. Lost 4 of 11 up to that point, but kept it short, kept it simple, won that one, and it allows Tom Shanklin from midfield to stay on his feet and give his pack plenty of time to add their weight to this latest challenge. Alex Popham. Peel to Jonathan Thomas, tackled by the big Ignacio Fernandez Lobe. Hugely popular figure up in Cheshire, playing for Sale. Peel. Side to Kevin Morgan.
Hands away, stay on your feet.
Peel, incidentally, who overtakes Gareth Edwards today in the cap stakes. Little chip ahead for Mark Jones. The bounce isn't kind, and Pichot, who is a long way from being the tallest chap on the pitch, gets to the ball first. Wonders if Jones was challenging him illegally. In the end, has to settle for the fact that he's stopped to try.
He's again, he's looking for the decision, having a go at the linesman, the referee. I think he was after, penalty because Jones took him while he was in the air. There we are. It's a lovely kick again. No full back there. Just watch. Ball checked. He's in the air. Well, I don't think Mark Jones knew what he was doing actually. And I think his head clipped his feet.
Cross the line penalty.
Ian Goff fumbling the ball, but Wales have the penalty. Argentina's line-out jumpers crossing that imaginary line between the two that's drawn by the referee.
Just took Goff out, and it's nice to see. They're trying to rectify the problem that they are missecuring a line-out ball. So the first two line-outs has gone front ball straight to the number 2 jumper, just to secure possession, being control of the game. That's one thing they didn't do in Twickenham. I think it's a good call, penalty. It's a test match. I just watch the two just jumping into the player, isn't it? 2 converted tries in front now. Why not take it away from there? Make him score 3 times.
It's hard to believe, isn't it? He was a virtual unknown this time last year. Try-scoring debut on that summer's tour to Argentina. And Hook has now scored over 100 points for his country. Who would have thought a year ago that he might be in a position to keep Stephen Jones out of a World Cup starting lineup?
Well, he's certainly putting his hand up there. Yep.
17-point lead at half-time re-established by James Hook's penalty. Wales 27, Argentina 10. Tit for tat with the penalties, suggestions that this is a real test match. barbarian stuff here today. Might be a friendly, but there's so much at stake for both teams. And what a terrific take that was.
He's lost it though.
It was Alan Wynne-Jones who got highest. Another player who's come from the long grass over the course of the last 12 months. Well, James Hook's been doing his stuff in the backs. Alan Wynne-Jones has made enormous strides in the pack.
Okay, onside.
Shanklin doesn't find touch.
Leguizamo.
Stay up, Red, stay up!
Good step, run into another big tackle
Stay
though.
back.
Pichot. Longo. Loses the ball forward. Wales will have the scrum.
Great double tackle. Jonathan Thomas. Martin Williams.
Keep watching behind me, lads.
Here we are. Lovely kick once again.
Come closer.
Watch this.
Come closer.
Good play.
Crouch. Touch. Pause.
Did well against back there, didn't he? Adam Jones, corner, flagging.
Same again,
Wales
please, lads. And wait
scrum.
for it. And just going up. We stop.
Splintering.
Going round and up. Stay. Let's wait. Just
By
hold.
and large, they've held that
wait for it.
Argentine
Not
scrum
too soon. And
pretty
hold.
well so far.
Stay bound, boys.
One or two occasions when they've gone backwards, and that was definitely one.
We start again because we're wobbling.
It's all go well because you know they've got Australia in their group, and if Australia have got one weakness,
Okay, let's go.
it is the scrum.
Don't go touch
Really
that,
having
don't
to
touch
dig
that.
in to keep a secure platform for Peel to get that kick away rather messily. But he does find his touch.
Yeah, I don't think he's happy with that kick, not his most effective, but good ground gained.
Don't get anyone involved. Don't anyone get involved.
54th cap today.
Red's gap.
Gareth Edwards 153. Robert Jones 154 as well, one of your great muckers. Only Rob Howley has one more, wearing the number 9 shirt, and even his record may well be overtaken by Peel at the World Cup.
I thought so. And Robert Howley was a great player. Robert Jones was. Very fortunate. There's some very good players in that number 9 position for Wales.
Thomas Sweeney, that lazy right boot. David James, haven't seen much of him. Looking at time on the ball, he'd have spent very little time on the ball so far. Let's see what he can do in this second half. Ball kicked on by Juan Manuel Leguizamo. Peel, plenty of time called for the mark.
Good mark. Good call there because he didn't know where anyone was behind him. So safety first, took the mark.
Who would you rather have played outside? Peel, Jones or Howley? Or perhaps even Gareth if you fancy going back that far.
That's the question you can't answer. Okay, that's they all that Gareth Edwards was voted the greatest ever. You know, loved to play with Gareth. I was very fortunate to play with Howley and Jones. Also Terry Holmes, a fantastic player, and I'd have loved to. Would have loved to play with Peel, David Bishop as well. I played with Jonathan Griffiths. I played with great scrum halves.
Onside, yeah, he's onside. Sorry, it's me.
Picked up by Matthew Rees. Not sure about that. James Hook really having to work hard to do the hoovering, and Fernandez Lobe slides over the ball, and Argentina have a real opportunity here. The other Fernandez Lobe gets the ball out to Serra. This is Contepomi, has Gaitan outside. Lovely ball back inside to Gaitan. It's all getting a bit tight, and Wales shuffle them eventually into touch, but a bit of brightness for the first time in a while from the Pumas.
Yeah, and that's what they do. They do, put you under pressure, and they try to exploit that, pressure. Then cause the mistake. Why Wales, need to do this? What's the hooker running out from his own 22 for? Loses the ball, and then regain it on the floor. A good defence by Wales.
You can adjust now. You hold. In your cup.
Rees again going to the front, isn't he? Ian Goff is the banker jumping at 2, the closest of the tall men, cutting out the risk of going too far. Taken in by Borges. It wasn't the smartest of passes to Serra though, with Thomas bearing down. Oh, this is lovely stuff from Borges though. This is what he can do, and Cornetto scores one of the great tries. That really was outstanding. There's a scrap going on behind in the wake. James Hook at the centre of things, he's wandering away, but what a score that was. Lucas Borges with the flashing South American feet and Corletto with the try.
I know. Yes.
It's a poor kick to start, isn't it?
Just telling him to calm down. Okay? Yes, you.
There we are, it's an interception. Just watch the run, the break. We just stop it there though, just stop it there. Watch this guy, just watch this guy when he comes, run it on. There you go, run it on. Now just watch him, he's coming, he understands the angle, comes through, lovely ball. Great play by both wingers, really. Great play by both wingers.
Well, he made his name at the World Cup in '99, but he's barely played since the tournament in 2003. There's the conversion from Todeschini. But Ignacio Corletto is back over a terrible run of injuries. But he's got 2 tries here in Cardiff today to keep this match very much alive. Just a 10-point gap now. Wales 27, Argentina 17. Just over 50 minutes gone in the second half. Todeschini, who added the conversion, goes long. This is Kevin Morgan, the fullback, minus a couple of his wisdom teeth these days after he broke his jaw against Scotland in the Six Nations. Dives in on Leguizamon.
7 rounds off.
Ball coming back on the powder blue and white side.
No red, 5.
P-shot to Contepomi. Nice play from Contepomi. Peel overcommitted himself. Ledesma, terrific hands. This is Borges again, who is beginning to fizz. Argentina look a different side at the start of this second half.
You give them a sniff and they're in it, I'm telling you. And now the tails are up. Wales are kicking loose. The chase isn't good, and they're back in this game.
P-shot, Todeschini, Contepomi, they're all lining up to the left-hand side. Contepomi comes back inside to Ledesma. A hooker who runs like a back. Now Contepomi, there are so many blue and white shirts. Surely the tackle was early, but no, the ball went forward.
Great tracking by Dwayne Peel. Great inside support as well by Pichot. 2 lovely balls in the play by Pichot. Tackle wasn't early, just one-on-one, isn't it? Just tracking each other.
Contepomi is beginning to show us his hand as well, isn't he? Quiet first half. There he is. Plays his rugby in Leinster these days. Had some time at Bristol. Beginning to open his bag of tricks.
What is it then? It's a scrum and it's your ball.
I think Ian Goff is down as well. He's just taking some treatment off the physio, Mark Davis. He's up on his feet, back in play. He's worked very hard.
It's interesting to hear the boys talking in the studio at half-time about Argentina's preparation. They reckon they've never been in better shape heading into a World Cup.
Not too soon.
They had a couple of weeks in Florida last month working on their fitness. They've got one more warm-up game against Belgium in Brussels next week, but they were very confident coming into this game. They thought they were ready, but it seems as if it's taken them 40 minutes to really find their stride.
As Keith said, you know, it's you can do as much training as you want pre-season, and maybe that's one thing that they don't do together as much as any other international side, is get together and have time to prepare, because all the players are scattered all over Europe, so they don't get time together. So rather than playing when they get together, this time they've prepared, and maybe the benefits will come through in the World Cup.
Thomas to Thomas off the base of that scrum. Hook again doesn't find touch, and it will invite another South American air raid, perhaps. This is Federico Serra.
Play on.
You just need to look at the faces of the Argentine players, don't you? They are suddenly right back up for this one. Albacete driven backwards, though. How will Wales respond? Martin Gaitan, number 13, waiting, but it's picked up by number 8, Gonzalo Longo. 8 years on from his debut against Wales.
Get your players out. No, it's up in the air. Get your players there quicker and let's play. Like you said, release. These guys. So
It's like, Argentina are now dictating the pace of this second half.
This was some score.
1 second, please.
Lovely ball, just watch his angle, cuts inside, lovely step, and then it's the run of Coletto, brilliantly timed. And this is maybe hook. Well, it's that's not really bad. He kept it. It could have been a lot worse if he'd lifted his elbow. So great ball. That's great play though by Coletto, reading the play.
Thank you, Argentina.
But Wales have to get hands on the ball now. They've had the majority possession. Argentina, they're dictating the play.
Time up.
They're getting more and more confident as the game goes on.
Stretch, touch, pause, engage. Okay.
Next score will be very interesting.
Very.
Goes to Argentina. Well, we'll see. P-shot to Serra. Morgan waits patiently. Oh dear! Fernandez Lobe gathers.
Important tackle. Important tackle.
Wales still playing it dangerously within sight of their own try line. David James kept his head, did really well to bring the ball away. And then Adam Jones lost the ball. But again, David James, the scarlet, involved in the centre of things. This is Peel.
Oh, knock on.
Unlucky.
Very good play there. Got themselves out of that problem, didn't they? This is the knock on. You see, he tries to place the ball, slips out of his grasp.
Crouch, touch. Hey. No, we're moving too soon. It's not going to work. Wait on the far side. Crouch, touch.
Another scrummaging
pause,
test
engage.
for the Welsh front row. Got a little shove on themselves there, which will please them. Meant that Longo was under a little more pressure than he's used to at the base of the scrum, but ball still coming back on the South American side. P-shot, Todeschini, Contepomi, much too close to Kevin Morgan, who goes long. Back to Contepomi.
Well, they're all offside now.
Challenge for the ball was by Ian Goff, which was not forward. Argentina will have the scrum.
You okay?
Gethin Jenkins, Welsh prop, preparing to come on.
He's warming up.
There he is. Loves the bash and biff of the scrum. He's going to get plenty of that over the remaining half an hour of this match.
Pause, engage.
Just 10 points in it. Argentina so much more sprightly, so much more determined and lively in this second half. Contepomi, not quite sure what that was all about.
Well, I tell you what, that was not a great move, because Coletta had come for the inside ball. And he kicks it.
So it's buried in there. Now, if you've got too many bodies, we scrum down red this time.
David James managed to get the ball to the ground, which meant it became a ruck, and therefore Wales will have the scrum. But not great from Felipe Contepomi.
There's a hole there.
Captained Argentina against the British Lions in that warm-up match here in December in 2005.
Yeah, look at the kid, you stop me there. Coletto is there, look, he's the left winger, he should be over here. So there's no communication whatsoever. Running on, look, he kicks into space, there's no one there. Coletto should be up here somewhere, he's nowhere near. It's a little bit of lack of communication.
Wales have made the change. Jenkins is on, Duncan Jones is off. Good little battle going on between those two for the number one shirt. Who's the number one, you reckon? Okay.
Well, look at the second half possession first. Argentina have dominated the second half possession and territory. That's why they're, clawing their way back into this game. At the moment, you have to say, that first half performance, that Duncan Jones is just ahead. So it's Gethin Jenkins' turn now.
Don't touch the back row.
He's the guy to have on the bench that covers both sides of the scrum. This is Gareth Thomas. Been a little quieter so far in the second half. Wales have the penalty.
The penalty, yeah. Just saw it. You give him a penalty there. The blindside flanker, Lobby, just is not bound whatsoever.
Manuel Guizemont. Here's number 6.
Right. There he is. There he is. Look.
Posts.
Offside.
Post,
the guy came into shot there. It was Fernandez. Lobe. Juan Martin, not Ignacio. Hook and Neil Jenkins, look.
Wasn't a bad kicker, was he?
Maybe the greatest of all time. You can have your New Zealanders saying how good are the play, Grant Fox, all these boys. Johnny Wilkinson is up there, but Michael Liner, Nas Porter, Neil Jenkins is up there, the greatest kickers of all time. If not the greatest.
Long way for James Hook to go, but he started promisingly enough early on in his Test career.
Big kick this, tough kick.
Oh dear.
Too tough.
Just beyond his range, wasn't it? He was having to push it too far, too hard, and...
Well, they got field position now.
Release, come back.
Stephen Jones has a groin injury, by the way. We're told that he will be fit for the first World Cup game against Canada in Nantes, 3 weeks tomorrow. Whether he starts remains to be seen as David James gathers an awkward ball. Hook, low and flat, and too much.
Yeah, just was caught in two minds there, really. Good rush defence by Argentina. Just put him in two minds. Just watch, there he is.
Wait. Who is it?
Just too much on it.
Wales. And Argentina.
More changes. This is Will James, the Gloucester man. The surprise pick for the World Cup. He's replacing Ian Goff, who's had another very solid game. There's Will James.
There's a good balance there. Ian Goff is the number 1, number 4 in that squad. His work is phenomenal. He's won a lot of line-up on the second half. His defence is good. He really gets stuck in. It's getting the balance in the second row. Evans is back. He's due back soon. Alamin Jones has stepped in and done another good job. 3 Argentinian replacements now.
Yes, all of these in the pack. So Santiago Bonarino, the prop, coming on, along with Rimas Alvarez. And Martin Durand is on as well. So plenty of changes. Both sides beginning to look for fresh legs, fresh minds. And this is Lucas Borges, who has started to show what he can do in a positive sense in this second half, having been sin-binned in the first.
Release, Wales, release!
Confirmation of the substitutions.
Martin
Durand winning his 50th cap. Bonarino on for Seltzer. Here's Todeschini to Contepomi. Gaitan, his centre partner in field, picked up by Mark Jones, but it's still South American ball.
No, he's lost it.
Not anymore though. Ledesma lost it. Albacete has plenty of time to get back. Gethin Jenkins put lots of effort into that tackle and did stop Albacete, but I think he was out of breath by the time he got there. Into the final 20 minutes. Clearing kick from the 2-try scorer Corletto. Really interesting 20 minutes ahead as well.
Yeah, I think Adam Jones is struggling. He chased that kick, pulled up, whether it's cramp or a twinge in the calf. But he's certainly got, he's stretching his left leg, Adam Jones, and right leg. I think
said goodbye to Duncan
One
Jones.
go,
We might
one
be saying
go.
hello to him
Argentina,
again in a
go.
short while if Adam has to go off. Reese with the line
Perfect.
out. Tapped back by Thomas. Hook to Gareth Thomas. This is Shanklin.
Well, very laboured that move. I'm not sure if they knew what they were doing there.
Release Argentina.
They put
move,
under
Argentina,
pressure
move,
now.
number
If they don't
2.
get this out,
Let
there's
go,
a turnover.
Argentina. Let go, Argentina.
Done well to get to keep it.
Stop it, no. He can't move. No, I'm not going to penalise. He can't move from there.
He's very lucky to get that decision.
That player there's got to get out of the way quicker. Yeah, I know, but you
There we
must
are. Look,
then
it's
make
just
an
very
effort.
pondered. There's deep. Do they kick? Do they pass? They haven't passed the gain line yet. They need to be a little bit more decisive.
Come together. Come together. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Waiting. Don't touch anybody. Hands off. Attack.
Wales doing well to repel the initial surge from the Pumas. Just over 15 minutes to go. Wales have the penalty.
Tackle it. Number 8.
Gonzalo Longo
Move away.
accused of not moving away,
You
having
stay
made the
calm.
tackle.
Nothing's over you.
You're all
Number
fair
8.
up, aren't you?
That's Roddy Roncero. One time lost the prop. Filled the gap in the front row left by Roberto Grau.
Gap, sir.
Wales do have the other hooker, Reece Thomas, on the bench, but persisting with Matthew Reece for the time being, and his line-out throwing has been much tidier in the second half, less ambitious, but much tidier.
Possession.
Let go one. Stay back foot. Stay back foot. Out.
Well, the ball is free.
That's what it, you know. That's poor play by Wales. The ball is there. Get it away as quickly as they can.
P-shot. Fernandez Lobbe. Back to Ledesma. He is a live wire, isn't he? The Argentine hooker.
Hands away. That's out, boys. That's out.
Reminds me of another boulding hooker, not so far away in our studio. Really fizzes around, loves to feel his
Hands away. There's the ball.
hands on the ball.
Okay, you played it. That's not leave it.
Corletto. Happy to take the tackle, to recycle it. Driven on by
No, don't go in
Albacete.
there, Oscar.
Slowly but surely, here they go.
No, move right. Move.
P-shot,
Okay, you let it
tackled
play.
by Williams.
Great play, great play.
Oh, Martin Williams, that's just wonderful. Alan Wynne-Jones fending off the challenge of Martin Gaitan. And this is Shanklin, who is almost away, but there was just a...
Yeah, I think he used the referee. I think he used the referee as the block, so he had to blow.
I'm in the way.
It's
Let's
classic
see.
open side play though, Jonathan.
Great play. Just watch this. I thought he was a little bit slow in getting the ball away, and just watch it. The ball will come out.
Just take some time.
Lovely.
Take some time.
Fenn doesn't panic. He goes in, picks the ball up from the ruck. No, was he in the way?
Yes, going forward. Sorry about that. One more.
Got a Jenkins. Got a Thomas. Sorry. I think he's bleeding. I think bleeding from the mouth.
Sorry, Wales. Sorry.
So we assume this will be a blood bin replacement.
Yeah, if he decides to come on, because
Who's the new captain?
what'll happen now? They'll put
Who's the new captain?
Jamie Robinson is on.
yeah.
Your captain, yeah?
Carded
Martin
blue.
Williams will be captain. Shanklin will go inside centre. Jamie Robinson second. Outside centre. And tell you what, this
Touch.
Jamie Robinson has got some pace.
No, it's not
Got a
going in there.
terrific
It's
try
moving.
against France in the Six
Stand
Nations,
up.
didn't he?
It's moving. I want it square and stationary.
Well, Chris Horseman is
Square and stationary.
watching down below. May well be playing next weekend against the French.
Have a look far side.
What are you seeing in this second half, Chris?
Come closer.
I think what Wales need to do now is what they did in the first half. They've got to control territory and possession. I think what the Argentinians now, they're getting into their run-in, their natural skills coming through, and they're looking to sort of have the game sort of open. What we need to do is we need to stop things like this is happening now, control the possession and get back down in their half and pressure them into making mistakes.
Yes, P-shot with the hack ahead. It was
Let
rescued by Mark Jones.
Did well, Mark
A
Jones.
ruck was formed, you should have called it. Listen.
Did very
Ruck
well.
forward, hands in. He
Oh,
should
James
listen.
Hook was almost away there, wasn't he? And Jonathan Thomas said, hang on, let's take our time here. Exactly what Chris Horsman was talking about.
Yeah, did well. Got up, slipped the first tackle.
Next time we stop. Red 7.
Martin Williams making way for Colin Jarvis, and a significant moment for Colin Jarvis. His 88 cap means he overtakes Neil Jenkins to become Wales' third most capped player. Only Gareth Llewellyn and Gareth Thomas have played more for his country. Mixed views from Neil Jenkins. He's been pushed a little bit further down the tree, but
I don't think he cares.
I'm sure he won't mind that much, no.
And Jarvis, I think, playing extremely well again. That's one question that's got to be answered. You know, who plays in the back row for Wales? Martin Williams always plays extremely well for Wales. Out and opposite flanker. Again, it's a question of balance in that back row.
Touch, pause, engage.
Jarvis, one of the few to survive the wreckage of Twickenham 2 weeks ago.
Hands away, Red, hands away,
Well,
Red.
showed enormous determination to get himself back into the Test picture. A couple of years ago, he looked as if it was over, but here he is, heading out to another World Cup.
Hands away, Red, hands away. And again, move, Red.
This is Roddy Roncero. Martin
No move,
Durant,
Red, no move, Red.
mobile flanker.
Up
with
against
his
scrum down
50th
Blues.
cap.
There's two men on top of him. He's facing
Argentina
the
have
wrong
the
way.
scrum. Yeah, it's a great story, Jarvis, isn't it? Opening try of the 99 World Cup here against
Unplayable.
Argentina. And, well, his Test career at least looked over not so long ago, but he's really fought back well.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Colin when he couldn't get a club, and
George, okay?
we discussed whether he should retire or not, and you know when you, as a player, when you want to retire, and he didn't want to retire really. So Newport Dragons came along and just said, "Have one more season, see how you go." I'm sure he was Player of the Year for Newport Dragons. Earned his place in the Welsh squad again, and he's played exceptionally well for Wales since he's been brought back into the squad. So he has been a tremendous servant for Wales. He's a laid-back character. Sometimes people misread him, but he's been a world-class player and a great servant for Welsh rugby.
Engage.
And astonishingly, he only needs one more try to edge ahead of Gerald Davis and Gareth Edwards. He scored 20 already. You don't find many forwards scoring that many tries, and well, Wales are beginning to make an impact in the scrum again. They've been giving a thorough test all afternoon, but refuse to be bowed.
Come closer. Come closer, please, Argentina. Wales crouch. Touch.
Jenkins, the
pause,
replacement,
engage.
loose
Okay.
head, closest to us.
He's not putting it in. He's not putting it in. It's the far side, get square. I'm coming over to have a look.
Santiago Bonarino, the replacement on this near side, the tight head side for Argentina. There is Jenkins.
Come closer. Come closer. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Let's come down slowly. Up we get.
You can feel the hit, and you can almost experience the pressure as well, can't you? It is just massive.
Yeah, it's close enough. It's from up here.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Just over 10 minutes to go. Wales maintaining their 10-point lead as Popham brings the ball away. This is Robinson. Inside to Alan Wynne-Jones.
Careful, careful. Don't be careful.
Have Wales ridden out the Argentine storm, which looked as if it was going to get them back into the game not so long ago.
Yeah, they've got their hands on the ball now.
No, leave it.
Come back into the game in the second half.
Field to hook. This is Robinson. Big tackle by Ledesma.
It's okay, play on.
He's been all over the place, Ledesma, hasn't he?
Easy.
But look at Peel. Back to Jones. The ball wasn't expected by Jenkins, but Hook was on hand.
Just got to be careful now, not to be
Man on his feet, holding on.
There we are.
Over there, over there. No. Over here.
Just got to be careful now, Wales. You know, trying to play too open, just sensible stuff. Close the game down, because if Argentina get into the game, another try could be a very edgy last few minutes for them.
Tomasini will go for touch. Wales have one more warm-up match before they kick off against Canada in Nantes. France are here next Sunday.
Yeah, that'll be a tough game. It'll be interesting to see, you know, how they go against England tonight. First real home game, warm-up game. You know, they want to really make a mark. They want to go into the World Cup. They've got a tough group, Ireland and Argentina, so they want to go into the World Cup, you know, really up for it.
Reds move, Reds.
A lot of pressure, host nation, Nick.
Stay up, Reds move.
Highlights of France against England from Marseille. I think just after your Sunday lunch tomorrow on BBC Two.
No, come on, play the game. I'll come have a look. George, talk to me.
Still 10 minutes to go here in Cardiff. Seems like Gareth Thomas is about to come back on, having been stitched up on the touchline.
Not yet.
Still work to do here though for Wales.
Number 17, come away.
Taken in by
Advantage 17 round the wrong
Rimas
side
Alvarez.
Penalty now. This will be interesting. Will they go for goal? Will they go for
the wrong side, 17.
Will he go for goal now? 10 points. I would go for goal. Yep. T-shirt.
17 wrong side first, then in the side there, number 18.
Well, a converted penalty pulls them within a converted try of squaring things up as the skipper, Gareth Thomas, makes his way back onto the pitch. This is why he needed a little bit of attention.
Oh.
It's Will James, the back of his noggin, that causes the trouble.
Right. Just watch the stitches. You won't worry, they won't worry at all. Just watch how relaxed this style is, goal kicking. Just watch it. Just incredible. Just incredible.
It's like he's wearing slippers and he doesn't want to hurt his instep too much. It works for him.
All about timing, isn't it?
So here we go.
Back in it.
Wales 27.
27.
Argentina 20. And I think we're set for a rough final 5 minutes.
Wales have got to get the hands on the ball.
Longo, as he has all match, with the hard yards down the bruising corridors. Tomasini needed to be careful. Dwayne Peel was having a word. Popham gathers. This is Morgan. Needs to get the weight of the kick right. Not too far. That was nearly perfect. He was challenging Ledesma. The ball bounces loose. Gaitan under pressure. Oh, Gaitan held his nerve.
Good play, good play.
Hook could relaunch Wales though. Again they go for the aerial route, almost touching the closed roof. Comes back on the red side. Oh, Hook thought he had the ball. Oh dear me. Patricio Albacete wasn't far away from burgling that back.
I'm all cramping up now, look at him.
Okay, change it.
I think Wales are going to make a change as well. Mark Jones is going off with cramp. Jamie Robinson is back on.
Here's Gaitan keeping his nerve.
Oh, does very well.
Got Gonzalo Tiesi as well, Argentina, to play in that position, the London Irish centre. Smashed his cheekbone against Chile a couple of weeks ago, and he'll be fit to play, but they're not short of options.
Okay, boys, let's play, please. Let's go, come on.
And,
not yet, please, Roman, not yet.
Well, signs of an early season bruising encounter, lots and lots of cramp.
Okay. Time on. Come close to Wales. Stretch. Touch. Balls. Engage. Get it in, please. Let's get it.
Key shot to Corletti. He's got two already.
Very close there, and there's no full back in place because he was up attacking for the scrum.
Got a chance, then it's starting to move.
He's looked dangerous, hasn't he, Ignacio Corletto?
Argentina hold, Argentina.
Will James wins the line out again at the front. Wales just haven't gambled on going long in this second half, but it means that the line out statistics are much more pleasant to look at. Reduces the options a little bit, but it's worked for them as Shanklin goes long off his left boot. Collected by Federico Serra. Plays for the San Isidro club, famous club back home in Argentina. Flying the flag for the home base players as James Hook takes his time. Doesn't quite touch though, maybe didn't want to. Contepomi to Pichot. This is Ledesma. He might have two on his back, but he's been playing like a centre for much of the game. Picked up cleverly by David James. 32-year-old, still as industrious as ever. One of the most underrated players in this Welsh team.
Away blue side.
Matthew Rees. Agricultural, but effective. 4 minutes to go. Wales, well, not exactly hanging on, but Argentina haven't given up either.
Not yet, no.
Wales tighter.
This has been a good workout for Wales. I think Gareth Jenkins, the coach, had written off the experience of Twickenham a long time ago. He'd have learnt so much more about his World Cup 30 today. This is the first match since he selected his 30 for the trip to France. Wales playing Canada 3 weeks tomorrow. Australia here in exactly a month's time. That will be the pivotal game in the pool. Japan are here in Cardiff as well a week later. And then they finish off with a game back in Nantes against Fiji. And perhaps a World Cup quarter-final against England. Plenty of World Cup water to run under the bridge before that point.
A lot to go. And
line out won by Albacete.
Move red! Back foot red, hold.
Argentina still got plenty of steam in their engine, it seems.
plenty of time. They're in right field position.
And again, red move.
Get that score.
Red set go, red set go.
Duncan Jones is
Advantage.
back on.
Hands off, red.
Adam Jones has been replaced.
Okay, you're on it.
They're going for the touchline. Pichot straight away will now put him in a good field position to go for the catch and drive. And it's all down to tempo in the second half. Wales have not had possession.
It was a good idea, but it was nearly plucked out of the air by David James. But here we go, 5 metres out, 3 minutes to go. Argentina need a converted try to salvage a draw here in Cardiff on the eve of the World Cup. I think they'll keep this simple. First thing Ledesma has to do is pick out his man. Wales don't challenge, they prefer instead to put the defence on when Argentina get to the floor.
There is. Advantage, it's advantage.
Penalty.
To Argentina.
Keep it up, Reds, keep it up.
Argentina have kept the ball off the floor, which allows them to continue with this rolling ball. You can see how close they are. Pichot went. Oh, that's interesting. Contepomi dancing his way through. A try in this position would definitely mean the draw. Oh, and the ball was knocked forward by Albacete. We're coming back for the earlier penalty.
No more. Hitting into the line out.
What will he do here? Will they go for a scrum or a line out? This is a big call. Scrum or line out?
2 minutes to go.
Go to the line out.
Well, it's been a subdued atmosphere. It's not been rocking like a Six Nations game does, but I've enjoyed this. And
let him down, don't hit him in the air.
About to
Have a look for a number.
find out shortly who the man of the match is. The Invesco Perpetual man of the match. Let's wait for that though, because this is just as significant. 90 seconds to go. Argentina pressing for the score that would salvage the draw. Wales desperate to hang on to what would be an enormously boosting win. Pichot goes on his own, needs the support of his mates.
Penalty again.
Let go, boys, there it is.
Oh, these are desperate days for the men in red. Approaching the final 60 seconds, they're up to the line. One more significant drive and Argentina will score.
There's no winger out there for Wales as well.
Keep it moving.
They've got to drive, they've got to keep driving. Argentina will keep the ball. Oh.
Big tackle from Alan Wynne-Jones, but Todeschini gets the ball back inside to Contepomi. James Hook with the challenge, and we're going to have a yellow card.
I don't understand why Argentina went wide.
Matthew Rees has been yellow carded. Wales will have to do all that defending again, but a man down. And we've got 30 seconds left. Big tackle in that particular move, Jonathan. Saving a try, and Alan Wynne-Jones has impressed you today.
Yeah, I think my Invesco perpetual man of the match is Alan Wynne-Jones for his all-round contribution. I think he's been superb, scored a try, but big performances as well from Martin Williams and Ian Goff. But he's been on there for the whole show against a tough, strong Argentinian pack. Good all-round effort, Alan Wynne-Jones.
Number 2 came out. There was not an offence the first time.
He has a class of heads, I think.
So Felipe Contepomi, who's down.
Hold it.
Here's how it happened. Oh, Colin Jarvis.
Oh, it's so
Spreaders, hold them.
down
please.
and in.
Spreaders, stop the game.
Well, this is it now, isn't it? This is the last throw of the dice. Oh, he's gone and in. I don't want him to. They'll have a look now, say, what are the chances? They won't say he's concussed because that'll make him miss 3 weeks. So although the way he looks to everyone, he won't be concussed. Big throw now, big line out.
His brother Manuel Contepomi is on. Contepomi is switching, ball taken
Great
in
try.
the line out by Alvarez, but
Great
look at the
try.
drive from the Welsh.
But they've stayed on their feet,
Into the final 15 seconds. This is it for Argentina. It's now or never.
They've regrouped on their feet, they're on their feet.
They're not used to losing to Wales. They're determined to get the try that might salvage it for them. Driven on by Martin Durand up to the line, over the line.
He scored by Gareth Thomas's reaction. That is a try.
I'm going to ask the question, yes. Away, lads.
By Gareth Thomas's reaction, I would say that's a try.
Roman, can you hear me?
Well, it was Martin Durand who was spinning away.
Is there any reason I cannot award a try?
Please wait.
Roman, look for me. Is there any reason I cannot award a try?
Yes, wait a minute, please.
We believe a try has been scored. Is there any reason I cannot award it?
Chris White keen to get the answer, and these are the pictures that Ramon Poit in our truck in the car park is looking at now. As Martin Durand spins away, does he get the... Oh, I think he's lost it, hasn't he?
I don't know, we're just checking.
Hasn't he dropped it?
I think he's dropped that.
I think Duncan Jones has made a tackle
That's the question.
that may have saved Wales' bacon.
And he's dropped it. There he is, just watch it.
Gentlemen.
Look at Duncan Jones, number 1, coming in
Great
here.
tackle, Duncan Jones. Does the ball... There we are. He's got his right hand on it. He's dropped it, knock on, dropped the ball. That is not the try.
And Duncan Jones, who was
Please,
substituted, and he's back on. Here we go.
There is a knock-on.
Yeah, okay. And how much time is left?
It's end of time.
There is no time. The ball is knocked on.
Goodness me, it was only a friendly, but it was full of drama from start to finish, from